So before you design your program, you need to think about what am I trying to drive and what are the moments of truth in my relationship with my customer that I want to use this program to drive. Right? So, I want to, if I've got issues around activation, what are the levers that I could build into a program to drive a customer through the activation process? If I've got, declines in usage, what are the levers I can use in my program to drive declines in usage and then, retention and win back? Think about all of these key events within your customer lifecycle, and then think about how can I make my program relevant and useful to those events? Because these are the events that drive value. There's many, many more events. There's hundreds and hundreds of events going on in your customer base, but there's a series of key events that if you can get right, and you can design your program around being able to address, then you'll drive a lot of value through your program. So, in the 3 years we've learned an enormous amount from our retail clients. One of the things that we've really learned, so I've always had this sort of idea that if you have something relevant to say, you can say it more often, right? So, most organizations will have very strict contact rules. So I can talk to a customer, once a month, or I can talk to a customer once a week, or, something like that. But what we've been testing was, well, if it's more relevant, so if it's more highly targeted, if it's based on a trigger, an event, or a behavior that you've exhibited, can I talk to you more often than that? Can I talk to you about the same thing repeatedly, and it'll still be relevant to you? I got this email, and I saw it, and I thought, yeah, I should do that. But I didn't do anything about it. And then 3 weeks later, I got it again. And I thought, yeah, I should do something about that. So I activated it, because you have to activate this offer. And then after I activated it, I realized I'd lost my card. So then I had to wait. So then I waited again. And 3 weeks later, I got it again. And then I activated my card. And then I had to wait for my card. So then I got it again. And then I activated the card. And then I got the card. And I went to the supermarket. But I forgot to activate it. So I didn't get my $10 anyway. But my point is, over a period of about 6 to 7 weeks, I got this email multiple times. I mean, it would be nice if it changed and it was sort of a bit more dynamic, but it was the message was still relevant to me, and I was still interested in it. And they were tracking the fact that I actually opened it, that I read it, that I activated it. So I was engaging. I just never completed, right? But it was still relevant to me, and it didn't annoy me. Right? If they kept sending me something about fluffy socks or fluffy slippers, then I might have been annoyed. But this was still relevant to me because I hadn't been to store. And it's a great offer to spend $30 and get 10, right? So if your message is relevant, you can say it multiple times. And the analogy I give you is this. If you go home and you watch on TV an amazing ad for an amazing product, you do not get out of your chair, get into your car, drive down to the mall and buy it. You just don't do it. But the next time you see it, you'll feel more inclined to do it, and the next time you see it, you'll feel more inclined to do it because it's relevant to you and you're interested in it. And marketing around in the digital channels is the same. As long as it's relevant, you actually have permission to talk to a customer more and more often. But you need to track key metrics, right? So if you're talking to a customer, really frequently and their open rate starts to decline, then you need to do something about that, right? So it's not about having these gross measures anymore about, this is my open rate. You actually need to understand an open rate by customer. You need to know when that customer last opened an email. And you need to be able to respond to that. So if a customer stops opening your email, you need to stop sending it to them.